Hi there. Today we're going to take a look at exposure compensation. Exposure compensation tells the camera to either allow more light into the camera or to decrease the amount of light coming into the camera. So let's see this in action. I have my camera all set up to take a photograph of this transformer, and you can see that my settings say 1/160th of a second at f2. And that's the photograph at the default settings with no exposure compensation. Now if I increase my exposure compensation to +1, you can see my shutter speed has now dropped to 1/180th of a second. And it's being set automatically because I'm in aperture priority mode, which tells the camera to set the shutter speed for me to get the right exposure. And that slower shutter speed means more light will be allowed to come in, and thus my exposure will be increased and I'll have a brighter photograph. And you can see the photograph is now significantly brighter than the default settings. And in the same way, if I drop my compensation to -1 eV, you can see my shutter speed now increasing to 320th of a second, which will decrease the amount of light coming in, giving me a darker photograph than the default or the overexposed settings would. So, to summarize, positive exposure compensation tells the camera to allow more light in, giving you a brighter photograph, and negative exposure compensation tells the camera to decrease the amount of light coming in, giving you a darker photograph than the default settings.